everybody, my name is Rebecca and these are my Cash Challenge Chronicles. So I have a fair bit to talk about today, and you've probably seen the title of this video and are wondering what it's about, but I'll talk about that later on the video. But first I would really like to thank you for being with me this quarter. So at the end of March, that means that we are a quarter of the way through the year, which is kind of insane. But I sort of started this channel at the start of that quarter and started doing challenges at the start of that quarter. So I want to have a little bit of a reflection on that and also just a bit of an update about how I'm doing. But first, I would like to crack into this amount of coins that I've saved over the month of March and fill in our lovely tracker. I will make this available on Etsy at some point in the future, but I don't know when that'll be. I'm feeling pretty unmotivated with Etsy at the moment, and so although I have some challenges that I've made, I haven't just pushed myself to actually do it. Yeah, just a bit of lack of motivation, to be honest. So sorry if you're keen on this and you're waiting on it, but it will come up sometime soon. Soon TM. So anyway, let's count. So I'm pretty amazed that there is 64.60 in these stacks of coins. So I'm going to work out how to disperse this in the crossing out, and we're going to go back into the speed round. I'm really happy with how colourful this is looking, and that means we can put that back in my giant money jar, which I will insert a photo probably here. I don't know how to do it, so we're going to figure that out. And that's looking pretty healthy. And once those coins are in there, I don't tend to touch them. I think I did exchange, so when I was doing the market day, I needed some coins for my float, and then I think I exchanged them back so that the same amount that came out went back in, but it might have just looked a bit different in the different coins that I used. So that's probably why there are a whole lot of bigger ones here. But anyway, so we are going to go to the goals page here and put in 64.60, which is kind of crazy because the first month I got $30, then it was 58, and now 64. I was not sure that I would actually get over $50, which was one of my goals this month. So I'm going to put this stuff away and we'll get into my goals. Let's start from the top. Finish looking good, which was a tracker that I had so that I could go to the optometrist. I did go to the optometrist the other day and I had that money ready to go. I will talk about the money from that a little bit later. But I did finish that tracker, and that was for $300, which was pretty awesome. I did not finish my unexpected savings tracker, but that was because when I set that as a goal, I thought we were going to go to Hobbiton in March, but then it got delayed, and so I kind of just delayed the urgency of saving for that one. So I'm not bummed about that at all. The third one we just counted, and I've well exceeded that and got 64 instead of 50, and I thought 50 was going to be a stretch. And then the last one was to set and stick to a $50 per fortnight dining out budget. Whatever, I had great intentions, and then I didn't want to actually do it. Okay, so one of my other trackers, I don't have my binders with me here, so I can't show you them. One of my other trackers that I've got is called Money Jar, and that is a $400 total, and some of that I'd started a while ago, but currently it is sitting in my $5 randomizer sort of savings game. But I would really like to see that boost of that $400 be kind of completed soon, so that I can put that money towards lock it away in the 90-day saver, so that it can be accruing interest for when I want to pay off that debt that I have. So I don't think I will take it out completely of the $5 savings challenge, but I'm going to commit to filling out all of the icons on it that say $20. So I think that'll probably equate to maybe $80 or $100 worth of that icon on it, but that'll help really advance those savings and that tracker. So another one, I want to spend $100 on giving. So my church, they are doing a collection for a couple local charities that are really in desperate need of warm winter clothes for children. As it's getting colder here, there are a lot of kids that are just doing without for whatever reason, and these organizations are doing great work but are really needing more stock. So I would like to put $100 towards buying clothes for those initiatives. Yeah, and then that'll just be part of my giving for the month. I've written that I want to have honest check-ins with my accountability partner. So yeah, I've asked for a friend to be an accountability partner for how I'm spending, and talking about the hiccups and talking about the wins, and just having her to help keep me on track. These videos are accountability for savings, but her input is more for how I'm spending the rest of my money in terms of my everyday spending, because I've got some issues there. And then one more. And the last one, I thought I would do one that's a bit more attainable, is to finish the Easter tracker that I've got going. I think there might be $70 or so left on that one. I'll draw that another time because I don't have my colouring pencils. Okay, cool. So those are my 4 challenges, my 4 goals for the month. So I wanted to show you and just remind myself like some of the victories. So these are all trackers that I have finished the challenge of in this past quarter, and I just really wanted to like encourage myself, because I generally finish them and I put them away in a binder. Some of them, or a lot of them, I would reallocate that to go towards some other things, but in theory, let's say that it is 1,000 $194, even though it's probably a little bit less because it is some of the money reallocated. But either way, that's really cool. That's a really cool win. It's a quarter of this goal would be $2,244.75, and that is ideally what I've saved in this quarter. But with these challenges and my coin jar, I have saved $1,347.30. So that's not quite there. There's quite a difference there. I think all of those combined would mean that I am on track, which is really encouraging when I have been feeling very discouraged with other aspects of spending in other aspects of my life. Throughout next quarter, I would love to be able to tick off at least another 2. I might potentially rub off some of the marker on some of these. I'm a bit in 2 minds on whether I will keep them as is so that I can just sort of keep doing this sort of like tip out, and then at the end of the year I show all of them. But you know, like I loved my dazzling savings and I kind of would like to do that again. And the year now was really fun. So yeah, we'll see if I keep them as they are completed or if I will rub them off and do them again before the end of the year. I just like that visual reminder of how far I have come. So I have a little kind of list of things that I want to like talk about. Probably highlighted in my very first video is I have never really saved. I have not been responsible with my money, and that is there's sort of a tie-in between compulsive spending on food and eating, which is an issue that I've had for a very long time. But I have asked a friend only just like last week to be an accountability partner, and I've shown her my budget, like this is what I intend to spend my money on, and then we kind of highlighted some like what is going to trip myself up, and we kind of made a plan, and we're going to just adjust it as we go, and then I will tell her like when I have stuffed up or when I have made a good decision. So what I noticed is I will kind of have a somewhat I'll be fixated on the thing I want to buy. So the other day I had some cash in my wallet that was just surplus cash, and I was just on the way to a friend's place, and I just couldn't stop thinking about going and spending that on food. I just couldn't stop thinking about all of the different things I could buy, and so it was like, this is within like a 5-minute drive. I was just battling with myself about spending this money that I could have been like, oh, this is extra money, I can save that. And I did end up spending some of that money. I did make a better food choice, but I did cave and I did spend that money. It really was just like a kind of eye-opening point where I was paying attention to my thought process, whereas before I would just be in the moment, and I would just, I'd be in the moment rather than taking note of what and why and things. And so, honestly, like, I was just a bit scared when I realized how fixated I was on that, and then noticing how it's happened other times. There have been other times throughout the week since then where I was really craving a like McFlurry. I was really craving that, and I was just sort of thinking, oh, maybe I'll go out and do some other chore, can't remember what it was, but I was sort of like, I have to stay home because I know if I go out I am going to buy this McFlurry. And so I did stay home, and I did get distracted enough, which is like my tactic for things, is generally distraction. But then, of course, the next day I was stressed out at the optometrist. I was stressed out, I was tired, and I was hungry. And so then I went and bought the bad food then. I had McDonald's then. and it busted my budget because I hadn't allocated money to eat out at that point. So then I had to shuffle around, but my accountability partner is really supportive, and is saying like it's really important that you are observing these things, because there's a lot of things that are like mental things that are tied in with each other regarding it. It's not just a simple I have a money problem, it's also I've got a eating problem, and laziness problem, and they're all related, but also that kind of ties into what you might think. Why do I only show stuffings of challenges? Why don't I show stuffings of my day-to-day expenses? Like some people will be like, stuff my wallet, and it'll have like my petrol and it'll have my groceries, blah, 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 blah. I don't do that because I am not consistent and I'm too scared for that. It's almost like I see the problem, but I'm still too scared to actually attack the problem properly, or like in a way that I know is going to be like cold turkey or like going hardcore. Like I'm too scared to do that with an audience, so that's just a thing within myself and a decision that I've made. But when I feel a little bit more stable, maybe I will show you guys my day, like my normal budget, and whether I've actually kept to it or how I've diverged from it. But at the moment, I feel too vulnerable doing that because it's in a rather bad state, which also explains why like the money that I have to save each week, it fluctuates so much. It's generally because I've compulsively went and bought food, or I don't really buy anything else, it's just food. I don't know how much of this I'm going to edit out, but I'm just a bit scared with noticing some of the things and how I'm spending, and the food and the health related aspects of it, but I'm going to try get better. So I really love that I'm doing these challenges because it is reminding me that, hey, I can put money aside, I can save it, and I can be better, and I'm working towards it in some way. The other thing that I was meant to write down to remind myself, but the other thing that makes me scared is that I've noticed I need to have the cash that I have saved to not be with me at my home. That was another reason why I don't stuff my wallet. I try to get that money spent on the things it's supposed to be spent on as soon as possible, because as soon as it sticks around in my account, it is likely to be spent on food. And so I also noticed that if I finished a challenge, for example, I think that one was fine, but for example, like this one, the money was sort of sitting around for a while, and then the money is more at risk of me not spending it for its intended purpose, and it getting diverted to food, which it did, and to some extent for this one. I did order glasses, but I didn't order $300 worth of glasses. I ordered half that, maybe $190 worth of glasses. And then the rest of that seems to have gone on to other things, but probably mostly food. And so I don't trust myself having these binders at home. They are locked away somewhere else that isn't at my home, so that I can only access them when I'm going to do these videos. And then I think if I do finish a challenge and it's something that is more like short term, I'll possibly keep that locked away with my binders until it is time to spend it. Otherwise, if it's something for a long-term savings, like my debt or car or travel or whatever, that would go into my 90-day saver account. then I would take that out and I would go straight to the bank and put it in there, because I can't touch it for 90 days. You know, like I have no intention of touching that. But yeah, when money's in my account, it doesn't feel safe currently. Yeah, so this is really hard for me to talk about and expose the like real truth. Is I am doing better than I ever have with money, but I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still struggling. I don't know how many people, like, I don't know how common it is to have like overeating tied in with overspending, but yeah, I just really appreciate your support, and I will try to be transparent about if that money is not being spent on where it's going to go. But yeah, do know that I do have someone who's external to you guys, although she does watch, to help me through. And of course, like, I've got God. So yeah, please continue to help me along. But yeah, it's just some observations that have really scared me recently, and hopefully will scare me into action. But these are very long-term, deep habits that I've had since forever. So they're not going to be snap and it's changed, you know. So we're working on it, and you know, as I say, I'm chronicling my journey here, and this journey is not always going to be like, wow, up. There's also rough times. So I really don't want to end this video on such a like depressing kind of conversation. My final thoughts, or my final things, are like, I'm really happy with the progress I've made. I'm really happy with being able to have an accountability partner who will support me and listen to me and give me suggestions in a supportive way. And I'm really happy for you know, to have you guys here. You're all so encouraging. And I'm really happy with having saved over $1,000 this quarter. Like, that's just crazy to me. And it's being saved, and it is mostly being put towards where it's going to make a difference. And helping me feel more prepared and less anxious about, for example, like going to this appointment. I knew that I had money to get glasses, but yeah, I'm trying to change for the better, and what better time to start than now, right? Okay, well, 10 years ago probably would have been a better time to start, but it's now or later on, so now is better than later on. But anyway, so those have been my reflections, and just to close out quarter one, and I will keep you updated with how things go next month for April. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's April already. Well, nearly April. Anyway, okay, so I hope your long weekend is really wonderful. I know lots of people make this a real lovely family time, or a time to remember Jesus. And yeah, either way, however you're spending these few days, I hope you have a wonderful time, and I hope it's really lovely where you are. So take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.